long time ago, once upon a time, a vast giant snake floated on the Earth. Island, a lost land isolated by Wang Yang. An evolutionary experiment in ghosts. Ultimately, the body shape of snakes, pushed to the peak of what people hear. His name is precisely the Indian subcontinent. However, what we have said, not India in South Asia today, but tens of millions of years ago, he chose the appearance of the sea alone. The Indian plate today, deeply embedded in the Eurasian continent. Its ancient frontier is slowly sinking into the ground, and it points to a fact that has been buried by time. Before the collision with Asia, India was much bigger than it is today. Therefore, scholars have paid tribute to the lost giant deer, granted a tyrant, the name of Chi, Great India. Go back to a time when the ancient road had not yet been disintegrated. Great India was once firmly embedded in this southern region, east part of the supercontinent. Madagascar with Africa, Antarctica and Australia are intertwined. Due to its incongruous border with Australia, scientists speculate that his north, there used to be a large area of land that has now disappeared. About 88 million years ago, Great India and its last neighbor, Madagascar separation, began his epic journey to the north, although the Indian plate was much larger than it is today. But due to the White Age, late sea levels are at historic highs, the land above the water, not necessarily wider than it is now. Well known, the isolation of islands often spawns unique species. From Madagascar to the Galapagos Islands, islands always give birth to a rare life poem, and that piece of wandering in Teti, Shung's Greater India is no exception. In this isolated world, force of evolution created a unique iron-blooded king. The Holy King Dragon is a behemoth, 7.6 meters long, weighs over a ton, majestic, but with a pair of funny little hands, like sausages. I can't like my video, like you can. His true power, it's all contained in that broad skull. Narrow with most skulls, rely on multiple times. Carnivorous dinosaurs that bite subdued prey are different. The broad stubby skull of the Rex can withstand the intense torque generated by the prey's struggle. Make it like a tiger, one bite and it's locked. At the same time, his stubby hind legs, it also provides stability for suppressing prey. Stone foundation. So what kind of prey is it? Need such a composed hunter to deal with it? And the answer is, the most common straight-toothed dinosaur in India. Chinosaurus and Isis. These medium-sized titans, less than 20 meters long. Dragon. It is the target of the Holy King Dragon's strong attack. However, although he is known as the Ayu King of Great India, the Holy Dragon is not the largest theropod in the land, at least in terms of length. This record belongs to a cold-written behemoth called a merchant dragon. Its body length can reach 10 meters, but the body is more beast-like. But this behemoth will not compete for the throne of the Holy Dragon. The latest research findings. He was a giant Northwest Argentinosaurus. There is a high probability that it eats plants. His existence, it may have filled the local shortage, the ecological void left by the Hadrosaurus. Beneath the stage where dinosaurs reign supreme, in the jungles of India, there are many unique snakes. For example, the length is 3.5 meters. Bone snakes love to sneak up on dinosaur nests, and a body length of up to 5 meters. Broken bones of cows strangled like pythons. They walked silently under the feet of the dinosaurs. It's a smart, lethal part of the food chain. However, the Great India of the Bay era was amazing, but it is by no means a paradise for health. This land, blocks are growing at a rate of more than 14 centimeters per year. Run north. That's 10 times faster than normal continental drift. In this galloping journey, he has traveled through different climate zones, like a train through the seasons, forcing life on the island to continue, adapt to a new environment. But the real purgatory is still ahead. About 67 million years ago, Indian plate passed by a place called the core furnace of the flowing mud hotspot, giant columns of magma surging beneath the plates, like a super thruster on fire, injecting violent momentum into India. This encounter with the abyss fire, not only did the Indian plate drift more rapidly, it even tore a turn on its surface, a volcanic catastrophe. That is the famous virtue in the history of geology. Dark rock event. Gushing face, devouring more than 1.5 million square kilometers. It covers nearly half of India. This once vibrant island, it turned into a burning arc of doom. What's more desperate is this volcanic eruption, and it happened at the worst possible time. He actually fell from the sky with the meteorite that ended the age of dinosaurs. converged at the end of the White Age. However, the hanging track of history is that, during the long and winter caused by the meteorite impact, devastating Dagang volcano, instead, it has become the guardian fire of life on Earth. He continues to release huge amounts of carbon dioxide, like a precious thermal insulation cover, locks in the Earth's gradually dissipating residual temperature. Analog display. Without the protection of a dry volcano, global temperatures after the impact will drop to -30 or 40 degrees. It is the regulation of volcanic gases. The temperature, it's barely within a tolerable range. Maybe it's that critical difference of a few degrees for our ancestors, leaving a thread of life. But creatures on Indian islands suffer from old sins. They had to point to the faces running beneath their feet, and volcanic poison in the air, certainly, and a series of disasters caused by meteorite impacts. Under the combined pressure of this world, almost all vertebrates were wiped out from this land, lost only frogs. Signings. A few animals, such as snakes, rely on their ability to drill holes, steal a lifeline in a desperate situation. For the performance of snakes in mass extinctions, when the dust settles, heaven and earth restart. Snakes that survive, winding out of the dark cave. They suddenly realized, I actually became the invincible existence of Great India. With the beginning of the new generation, slowly opening the ancient Indian road, start crossing the equator, just in time. The Earth's temperature has also ushered in the peak of the Cenozoic. For India's snake thunder, a set time, the perfect era of local people, and people begins. Hot climate. It fits the cold-blooded pulse of snakes, Wang Yang around, the top of other continents. The disadvantaged are isolated, and the catastrophe that just passed. Replace them and wipe out their home rivals. Therefore, their bodies begin to break free from the shackles of the past, extending to a scale never seen before. To 47 million years ago, this legendary snake island finally conceived. One of the largest snakes in history, Indian Basu and snake, Heian Bay. Indian cow bony snake bloodline is similar. Therefore, it should be robbed. They evolved the rest of their lives. Bosu Jiji is unusually large. It can reach a length of 14.5 to 15.2 meters. The maximum estimated weight is 1.1 tons, same order of magnitude as the famous Titan ran. However, if you want to vote for the most powerful snake in history, I will definitely vote for Bosu and the snake. Because of the two calm teeth and jaws, the bone connections are not strong, hints that he might just be an oversized fisherman, not necessarily good at hunting large reptiles or mammals. And look at Bosu and the cones of snakes. He must be a kind of Lu with a round torso, raw or accompanying aquatic snakes. And here's the thing. These vertebrae also reveal the presence of Basu and snakes. The essence of strangling the king, his vertebrae are 6 times wider than Senran's. The pressure generated when power contracts, it rivals a crocodile bite. If the prey he spawns can be killed instantly, that's the best ending. Because this giant snake is the most standing. It's how he eats. Bone snake family of cows belonging to Bosu and snakes. It's a fairly primitive snake family. They have stiff nuclei, limited opening and closing, not like modern pythons. Snakes swallow too much prey. In order to break through this innate quality, these snakes have evolved cruel solutions. Straight with fangs, tear pieces of meat from prey, like some eels, Great India, the island of serpents. There are also many secrets hidden beyond imagination. In 2025, a new discovery rewrites history once again. In the same strata as Basu and snakes, another piece was unearthed, shaped like vertebrae of giant snakes. This skeleton, revealing a slender, mysterious serpent. The estimated length is more than 15 meters. He may be a new species of porcupine and snake. It could also be India, another gender of snakes. But anyway, he is also a road snake. Under the rule of these ancient snake kings, Great India still reigns. Other dazzling snakes, such as the modern Mang and the new snake tomb. They travel through the jungle, weave an intricate food web, and there is an ancient lineage called the Paleontology. Even the territory of India's snake country expand beneath the blue waves. One of the best of them, Cookie. Some snakes can reach up to 5.7 meters in length. Its flattened tail flag indicates he is fully adapted to sea life. Sea snakes have such a huge size, perhaps not surprising. But those giant snakes that inhabit the Indian mainland, what kind of food do you rely on to nourish such a body? Is it just frogs and signings? About the new generation. The first 10 million years of the Indian ecological fossil record haven't revealed enough secrets to us yet. Maybe Snakes at that time had not yet developed harmful body shapes. But one thing is certain, since 55 million years ago, mammals have already crossed the double sun, here for takeout. At this point, the Indian plate is approaching the Eurasian continent. A chain of islands rises in the northern waters, pave a way for life. Mammals on the mainland, or cross the sea on driftwood, or hop along the archipelago. They have poured into this land occupied by giant snakes. However, these creatures who have come from afar, it's not just about fattening the serpent. This seemingly dark island of giant snakes, on the verge of becoming a crucial event in the history of mammals, an important cradle of evolution. For a long time, the evolution of exotic animals. History has always been shrouded in a layer of fog. Pheasants and oligons. The fossils of these two types of animals in question suddenly appeared on multiple continents at the same time. Therefore, the place of their origin, it remains an unsolved mystery. And in India, 55 million years ago, Cambasu provides a crucial clue to this question. Cambasu is a four-legged herbivore. It is very closely related to the chicken topic, even if not its direct ancestors. It is also a sister group of its ancestors. This suggests that the ancestors of the chickenhead traveled across oceans, come to India to practice on Shangway Island, and then it spreads outward, produced a variety of chicken-related offspring. Then even, what is the relationship between the topic and India? In fact, this is the starting point from land to sea. This is an even dew-like animal, is the direct ancestor or uncle group of a sperm. All its fossils have been found in the Indian subcontinent. And at every stage of his transition to marine sperm, it's in the rocks of India, leaving a clear sequence. Andrew's in the same stratum as Bosu and the snake. Kim and Kuchkin, I am a witness to this great transition. These early whales still carry traces of terrestrial life, wandering between land and water. So the serpent was taken aback on land, possibly this wild world, commonplace scene, about 45 million years ago. India has been at sea for tens of millions of years, finally embracing Eurasia, the hug that changed the face of the earth. Not only does it combine mountains and rivers, it opens the corridors of life, the flora and fauna of the two great plates. Since then, it began a magnificent two-way journey. Today, soaring dragon brains in the rainforests of Southeast Asia, giant fragrant tree. It originated in India. These sky pillars are more than 50 meters high, rooted in the middle of the White Age. Now it's being transported across the ocean by India. Expeditions to the animal world are equally magnificent. A close relative of Basu and the snake. Head west along Kirsty and Larak Island Lake, bringing blood to North Africa. African giant snake. And here evolved the famous elephant-swallowing serpent, pushing the history of snakes to another peak. And the descendants of Cambasu spanned thousands of mountains and rivers, entering North America through Europe, and spread its branches and leaves across that land. Eventually, North America became the horse, rhinos, and other Keddingwood family dragonhearts. Canada today, 1 in 8 people are of Indian descent. This again validates the Indian biology, ideal for the North American environment. There are many humble lives, also composed a legend. Python origin and centipede in Indian earth blood, since the tribulation was successful, already in the Long Island life. Diversified, finally. They also spread to Asia as the continents met. Great India, finally docked. This arc of evolution has been adrift for 40 million years, and he crashed out. More than just the towering Himalayas, it is a lonely life, disaster and reunion. That's it for this episode. Don't forget to give me a like after reading it. Your support is really important to me. A magnificent epic that is constantly destroyed and constantly reborn.